Hello everybody, you already know who this is, and for those of you that don't, I'm Dead Pylons. I'm here to go ahead and tell you how to do SOTP as fast as humanly possible. Let's go. First encounter needs you to split up into 3 separate jobs: Map Reader, Map Defender, and Runners. Runners need to split up into 2 teams of 2, Team 1 and Team 2. Make your way to the middle of the entire area. Once you're here, you'll see a Berserker. Break the Berserker shield by shooting his crit spots on his chest and his back. Have somebody in front of him and behind him to go ahead and hit these points. Once you do that, he'll be weak and be teleporting everywhere. Just kill him as quickly as possible. Once you do that, he'll drop something called a Radiant Battery. Whoever's Map Reader, go ahead and pick this up and slam it in the little contraption here. Once you do that, get ready to tell your runners where to go. You'll know what your runners are by the yellow lines that are tracked on the map. The green lines is where you'll be able to deposit. Pay attention to the dots above each one of those lines. This is an indicator to tell where the radiant batteries are going to be deposited at. Red lines track other berserkers, but pay attention to the red line with a circle above it. This is the berserker you want to go after. Tell your team where this berserker is, and on death, he'll drop 2 more radiant batteries. Have team 1 pick up the first one. Once pick up 1 has picked up the radiant battery, listen to the map reader. He'll tell you where to go. After that, team 1 pick up 2 picks up now, and then again. Listen to the map reader. One radiant battery will go to either 1, 2, 3, or 4, and the other one will always go to map, or 5. Have either map defender or team 2 help the runner who's not going to map. With the radiant battery, you can't use your gun, super, or anything, so you won't be able to go ahead and clear the area of servitors. Servitors stop you from depositing the battery, so clear them out as fast as possible so you can deposit. You deposit them in a similar looking contraption as the map. Once you've deposited your battery, you won't be able to pick up another one for roughly a minute. This is where team 2 comes in. Team 2 is going to do the exact same thing as team 1. Listen to the map reader and then go look for that berserker. Take care of him and deposit. Rinse and repeat this process until the encounter is completed. Wherever the final battery was deposited at, that's where you'll go enter the maze. Drop down, collect your loot, and follow this map to the next encounter. Next encounter is called a Blazed Glory. This technically isn't an encounter because you don't get loot at the end of it, but to start this encounter, you'll see 2 buttons on the left side as soon as you come in. Have 1 person at each one of these buttons. Punch them in roughly around the same time to go ahead and start the encounter. Once you do that, simply ride to the end, avoiding obstacles and enemies. When you reach the final room, 2 players will jump off with their sparrows and melee the panels near the entrance. They'll be on your left and your right. Do this at the exact same time to go ahead and finish the encounter. Follow this path to go ahead and make it to the next encounter, Phase 1 of Insurrection Prime. Once you follow the path to the very end, you'll be at Insurrection Prime, Phase 1. This encounter requires you to split up into 2 teams of 3, Surface Team and Underground Team. Surface Team has to go ahead and handle Shanks and Servitors. Shanks will go ahead and have elemental shields, so please have 1 of each element to go ahead and take care of these. There will also be Servitors. Don't touch them until Underground Team tells you to. Underground Team, there are 4 distinct interests underground. Just pick one. Tell Surface Team to go ahead and kill the servitor. This will go ahead and take away the lightning so you can get in there. Once you do, either run clockwise or counterclockwise to go ahead and keep in rotation with the rest of your team. Once you're in rotation, just go ahead and look for a buff. You'll see 1 of 4. You'll see angular, which is triangle, parallel, which is square, continuous, which is circle. And your final buff, do not touch this one. It'll cycle between the other 3 buffs. If somebody hits this one, it'll wipe the entire team and you'll have to start all over. Once you have your buff, do not go near another person with the buff, because then you'll be tethered. Once you're tethered, you'll continue to take damage until death. Once you make sure everyone in the Underground Team has their buff, go ahead and tell Surface Team to kill the Servitor. Once Servitor's dead, this will go ahead and reset all the buffs down there. You'll have to run around and find the exact same buff that you picked up the first time. Once you find the buff again, go ahead and melee it. This time, once you tell Surface Team to take care of Servitor, you're running out to go ahead and deposit your charge within one of the 3 places. Talk to your team first and tell them where you're going to go. whether 1, 2, or 3. Once underground team is deposited, there'll be a tank. Jump in the tanks and get ready to go to the middle and do DPS to the boss. Missiles do the most, so go ahead and charge your missiles at the boss and do a countdown. Once you do a countdown, let go and let the missiles fly, while also using the tank's primary attack and do damage along the way. Repeat this process until the encounter is done, and you can get your loot at the entrance. Congratulations, you're now at Insurrection Prime, Phase 2, the final encounter of the raid. There's many ways to go ahead and do this encounter. I'm going to tell you one way. This way requires your team to split up into 3 jobs. You're going to need 3 snipers to take care of crit spots on the boss, 1 map reader, and 2 runners. Map reader and runners are going to have the exact same job as the first encounter. Map reader reads and tells where the runners need to go for berserkers, and where to go ahead and deposit their radiant batteries. Runners just listen to the map reader. Little change up though, since there'll only be 1 set of runners, you can go ahead and just refresh your buff by joining allies. Right behind the map, stay here until it says joining allies. Once joining allies is done and you'll respawn, you'll notice that your debuff is gone. You'll be able to pick up another charge, and just keep doing that until you got tanks. Snipers, you'll have to go ahead and handle adds and crit points on the boss. The little blue spots on the boss. These blue spots takes down the boss's shield. Once you take care of all these blue spots, that'll go ahead and lower his shield so you can stun him with the tank. But watch out, the boss will also have 3 random crit points that you'll also have to take care of to stun him. You'll need to hit these because if you don't, the boss will charge as a white mechanic. Miss too many, the boss kills you. If you get enough, this will go ahead and delay that white mechanic just long enough so runners can go ahead and get a tank. Once runners have gotten a tank, make sure the boss is in a good point. This is where you'll get ready to do damage. Follow this diagram for setting up for damage phase. You'll need to remember these distinct points during damage phase, because on the bottom left hand corner of your screen, you're going to go ahead and get a buff. It's either going to be angular, continuous, or parallel. Please look at the very first letter of these buffs. Whatever the first letter is, please go to that area. If you have 2 matching buffs in the same area, you'll go ahead and get a wonderful damage bonus to the boss. But also, please watch out. The boss is going to go ahead and emit a little pulse wave. This will change your buff in the middle of damage. And if you have 1 person who has a mismatching buff in that area, you'll go ahead and be tethered, taking continuous damage until you die. Do this until the boss is defeated. If you vibe with these kind of guides, please leave a like, and why not subscribe to the channel? Or even leave a comment on what you want to see next. It inspires me to make more. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace, and have a good one. Bye.